Good morning, everyone. So today we will be explaining about the concept of networks in the physical topology. So what do you mean by physical topology? It's nothing but where how the network is said to be physically enabled. Okay, mainly the meaning of physical topology is how the network is laid out in a physical manner. What is the structure of the network? That is said to be a physical topology, and it consists of why a topology is being implemented as when two or more links are there, then it is said to be a topology. In general, the definition you can see here, what it is being given here. What's the definition is? It's nothing but it's a representation, or you can say a geometric representation of the relationship of all the links and linking devices is said to be a topology. What is the geometric representation of links and the linking devices? That is called as a topology. Okay, there are four types of topologies. You can see one is mesh, star, bus, and ring topologies are the four types of topologies which we will be representing today. One by one we will be dealing it. So next we move on to the concept of how these topologies are being implemented. As I said, the topologies are four types: mesh, star, bus, and ring are the four types of topologies. Okay, so one by one we will be learning it. So first one, as we said, a mesh topology. What do you mean by a mesh topology? Mesh topology is said to be having a dedicated point to point link. Dedicated point to point link, it's nothing but how a link has been done between various systems. You can see here a single system has the connection for only two dedicated systems. So it is said to be called as a dedicated means of link between the various devices. Okay, two devices, it may be connecting to each other. That is said to be a mesh topology. Remember, it's a point to point link and it's said to be a dedicated link between the two devices. That is said to be a mesh topology. You can see the structure here, how it is being representation. There are multiple stations, but they are said to be having only two links at a time. Okay, that is said to be a mesh topology. So in this mesh topology, you can see here, if you say if you are said to be having n number of devices, then you need n into n minus 1 physical channels, nothing but the cable links. You need about n into n minus 1 divided by 2 physical channels, and each and every device, it consists of n minus 1 ports. It should be having how many? N minus 1 ports are said to be necessary to get linked. Okay, so example for this one, it is being seen here. So you consider 8 devices are there, means what? 8 means 8 multiplied by 8 minus 1 divided by 2, nothing but it requires 28 links. Okay, it requires how many? 28 links, and the number of ports which are said to be necessary are 7, nothing but n minus 1. So 8 minus 1 is nothing but it requires 7 ports, and 28 links are said to be necessary. Okay, this is an example of the mesh topology. Okay, so next we will be seeing what is the advantages and disadvantages of the physical topology. Here the advantage is nothing but each connection carries its own load. Means what? Each link, it carries its own data. Then it has a robust, means multiple links are there. Then you have the privacy and security is maintained in the mesh topology, and you can easily identify the fault, and each and every system's fault it can be identified because it has its own dedicated link. So these are the advantages of a mesh topology, that it carries its own load, it has a more connections, security is there, plus even fault identification can be done easily. That is the advantages of a mesh topology. Then disadvantages, here the main disadvantage is that you need a big amount of cabling, much cabling is necessary, you need big number of ports you need. Okay, and installation and reconnection, it's nothing but you have to install the software in all the systems, plus reconnecting. If any problem is there, then once again getting the connection, it becomes difficult. And the wiring, as I said, it is said to be bulky, so even available space also it is said to be increasing. And even the hardware which are being used for all the parts, it is said to be expensive. So these are the disadvantages of the physical topology. And mainly it is the importance which is given here, it is in the hybrid network where it is said to be important here, mesh topology. Okay, so that is said to be your physical mesh topology. Then you move on to a concept called a star topology. So star topology, it's nothing but dedicated point to point. It is said to be having a central hub to which all the systems are said to be getting connected, and no direct traffic is being involved, nothing but each and every system is not getting connected to each other. Okay, each and every connection is going to the hub only. Okay, hub is nothing but a device which carries the information for multiple connections. That is a hub, and it acts as an control of exchange. It is nothing but all systems control is only on this particular one system. Okay, you can say a device which controls all the things. The main part is your device here in the star topology. Okay, so here advantages, you need less number of, you can say, devices or the ports you needed, and installation and reconfiguration is easier, and cabling, it needs less cables, and you can add multiple connections or you can delete the connections easily. And here also you have multiple systems, but one fail, if one system fails, it doesn't depend on all other systems. One failing, it doesn't affect all other systems, and it can identify the faults easily. Okay, that is the main advantages of star topology. The disadvantages, the main disadvantage is that it is dependent on a single hub, and here more cabling than compared to that of a ring or a bus topology, which you will be learning next. And mainly the star topology, it is said to be used in the LAN network. Okay, local area network, it is said to be your star topology is important. Okay, so next we move on to the concept of a bus topology. Here also you have the multiple connections. Okay, in the bus topology you have multiple connections. Okay, multi points are there, and here also you have a, you can see a long cable is there to which all the systems are being connected, which acts as the backbone for the whole technology. And here it is mainly designed for the LANs and the Ethernet LANs. Okay, mainly it is said to be in the concept of local area network. Your bus topology is being used. Okay, so here the nodes are mainly your bus topology. It consists of what? Nodes connect to cable by a help of a drop line. It is called as a tap. Okay, this drop line, it carries the messages, and whereas a tap is nothing but whenever it is said to be necessary, I want to send the information to this station, then only the tap gets open. Otherwise, the tap will be closed. Whichever connection, wherever I want to flow the data, that tap gets opened. Otherwise, it will be closed. So whichever system I want, only for that system only I can send the information. But the main task is that this main backbone is said to be important. If any problem is there in this backbone, it will affect all other stations or all other devices. That is the main disadvantage. Okay, so travel along the backbone, and mainly it gets eaten up when it is carrying multiple data. Means what, this channel may get heaten up. So you can use the different types of cablings which help out in reducing the heat. Okay, and here it can carry only few number of taps. It cannot have multiple taps. That is the main disadvantage of a bus topology, where you can handle only few taps at a time. Okay, that is the part of your bus topology where you have the stations, sorry, where you have, you can see these are the stations and these cables are there in the bus topology. Okay, so in the bus topology you can see here the advantages which are being considered are, it is easy to install, it needs less number of cablings than that of mesh and the star, but main disadvantage is difficult to identify the problems. Okay, and it becomes difficult to add the additional devices in the connection, and fault cannot be identified easily, and when one connection is broken up, it may get corrected for longer period of time, so it becomes difficulty for identification of the fault, and all other systems may get stuck in the particular region. Okay, and the damage area, it reflects the signal back. Okay, when one system is being damaged, means what, your signals, it will be carried back to the particular main system. Means what, it will not be going further. That is the main disadvantage of the bus topology. Your data gets stuck here when one of the system fails. Okay, that is the main disadvantage of the bus topology. Okay, so next we move on to a ring topology. Ring topology, it is nothing but, you can see here a ring is there where it is getting connected to dedicated systems. Point to point systems are there, and the signal carries from one system to another system, from another system to another system to another system. So here the signals are being carried from one to another to another to another. Like that, the signal gets carried, and each device incorporates a repeater. Means what? If any fault is there, once again the signal can be repeated back. For that reason, the repeaters are being included. Not other topologies are said to be having this facility, but this ring topology has the facility that the signal can be repeated back. Okay, that facility is there in this ring topology, but the various advantages and disadvantages of the physical topology is that it is easy to install as other things. Then it is said to be getting connected to immediate neighbors only. Okay, and move connection, you can add and delete the connections, and it can identify the faults easily. But main disadvantage of this ring topology is that it is said to be only unidirectional. The data flows in only one direction only. Okay, and one broken device can disable the entire network. Means what? If one connection is said to be failing, all other connections they get stuck here also. For that reason, the main advantage, this disadvantage can be made as an advantage by including a dual ring. Means what? The data flows in both direction. If the connection fails in one direction, the data can flow in the other direction. So here in the diagram you can see here what happens here is, if the data is flowing here, so if I include a dual ring, means what? The data can even flow from this direction, and even it can flow in this direction. So if it is said to be responding back, it can flow in both the direction. If one fails, it can go from this direction and go to this device. Like that, it can happen. So this is said to be a ring topology. It can be made as advantageous if you have a dual ring capability. Okay, so this is your ring topology, and last one in the topology is your hybrid topology. Hybrid topology, it's the combination of multiple topologies, that is called as what? Hybrid topology. So in the example you can see here you have a star topology, and here you have a bus topology. So you can have like that, multiple topologies can be involved in a single one. So that is said to be what a hybrid topology is. Okay, it has an advantage that you can use various techniques in different aspects. That is the disadvantage, that is the advantage of a hybrid topology. So whenever I need whichever topology, I can use it. So in this session we have learned about the various concepts of mesh topology, star topology, bus topology, ring, and a hybrid topology. Okay, so I'll be ending this session. If you have any doubts, you can call me back. Okay, thank you.